Hi friends, strangers, internet. My name is EmilyHanhan. I love colorful makeup and colorful language. And today I am talking about 10 discontinued favorites. Now, the beauty community, the YouTube space in particular, I guess everywhere. Anyway, it's all about new. It's all about what's available, what people can see and then click on and purchase. The problem is that sometimes things go away and they are still favorites. So I'm going to talk through about 10 products that I still love. I'm probably still going to use on camera, or if I'm not using it on camera, I'm using it off camera. And if you would like to see what I'm going to talk about, definitely keep watching. If you're new here or you're not yet subscribed and you like colorful makeup, you like bitches with lots of opinions, or you just like cute fat babes in general, I hope you will subscribe. Now, the first thing up is kind of a runners up, because I don't actually know what format it's in currently. So the Adept Cosmetics Plain Jane palette. I have had this palette for over a year now. I bought it and then it was given to me for my birthday. Anyway, over a year now I've had it. Technically it was a gift, also something I purchased. You know, things and stuff. Here's the thing, is that it has changed in terms of the shadows, but I'm not quite sure what has changed. I think there may be more of a multi-chrome added, or some colors were adjusted. This is a 12-pan palette full of sparkly, shimmery shades. And we're not going to talk about the brand today, but it's just a palette that, like, while it's full of beautiful shadows, it's not something I don't feel like I know enough about the reformulated version to recommend it or not. But I mean, this palette still holds a place in my heart, both in a sentimental way and in a performance sparkle shine kind of way. Now, this is also, is this a kind of sort of, let's just talk about it. House of Uni Wicked lipstick, which is the beautiful black lipstick I have on today. This is not officially discontinued, but it's been out of stock since February. This particular formula from House of Uni is everything to me. This black lipstick is just practically perfection. Mine looks disgusting because I have used it a bunch. It's also kind of like melted. It's fallen out of the packaging, but I've used it a lot. And I love it, and I'm going to continue to use it until it gives out. But I need it to be back in stock. I'm not speaking its discontinuation into existence, not at all. I'm saying, please, House of Uni, please. Can this be back? This is just so good. It lasts like a dream. It's still pretty comfortable. It applies, like, I'm always gonna look messy in black lipstick and dark lipsticks. It's just the way of the world. So just, you know, just my disclaimer. But I'm not saying this is discontinued. I'm not. But I am saying that I've been unable to recommend it for almost a year now. Okay, let's go to something a little less exciting. But Milani, you are breaking my heart. So this is the Milani foundation brush. This one is you know, not clean. It's been used recently. I picked this up because of Audra. This is one of the early recommendations. And like, I knew they knew what they were talking about, but like this brush, I was a clown and did not get any additional ones before this went away. It's not, Milani doesn't have brushes on their site anymore. I can't find it. And the price point and the performance of this brush is just so good. I also think it looks like a nice brush. It's held up for almost a year. Yeah, probably about at least 10 months, probably longer. It's soft and it's dense, but it's not so dense that I can't like wash it properly, because sometimes brushes get so dense, and then if they're foundation brushes, like, and you can like really splay it out, or you can keep it a little bit more like small depending on how you store it and use it. It's fantastic, and I am so mad that it's gone. It's such a good brush. I'm just going to continue on the Milani Breaking My Heart train. The Milani Stay Put Waterproof Eyeliner. It's a pencil. It's like, okay, so here's the thing. I'm always on the hunt for the dreamiest eyeliner formulas. Black is not like a go-to liner for me though. But this formula is so good that I love using it. It's just so creamy. It goes on so smooth and it stays in place. And it's so smooth and like creamy, I guess, that I can do a wing with it, especially if I grab a little liner brush. Like if I put it down and then grab a brush and like, you know, either smoke it out or just use the brush to drag some of the product from where I placed it into the shapes that I want. It's such a lovely formula. And for the longest time, this was like on the bottom of the Milani display in drugstores. But I went on their site and I noticed that this packaging, this format seems to be gone. It seems like they have transitioned all of their liners to the like retractable variety. And while I have some of one of those formulas from Milani that are nice, they're not this nice. They're not. So if you happen to see it, like I said, bottom of the Milani display in person, if you see it, pick one up. I think they're really good. Let's talk about a lipstick that I was shocked by. I was shocked by how good it is. The Becca Love Lipstick. So this is in the color Flame, and I picked this up again early in the year. Audra and I did a patrons like drunk sale makeup shopping live stream, and this formula is so good. It's a matte formula, but I don't find it drying. I find that it will like the way actually this House of Uni black lipstick feels. It reminds me of this in that like it dries down, it loses its first creaminess, but it's not transfer proof. It's not like, it's just, in this formula, I could reapply like wherever, like if it wore off in certain spots, I could reapply. It didn't feel like it dried out my lips. The packaging is super nice, kind of weighty, magnetic. I wanted to pick some of these up, but I'm going to be honest, Becca never really went on sale as much as I was looking for it to go on sale. But like if you're in a TJ Maxx or Marshalls and see the Becca Love lipsticks, like the fact that a color this bright performed so well, just, it blew my mind, to be honest. Let's dabble in a highlighter that I have shared a lot of love for, that I don't know why this is discontinued. I don't know why this is discontinued. Ritual Defeat, answer for yourselves. Why is the Chimera discontinued? Why is your green highlighter, your beautiful green gold cream highlighter, why is it discontinued? Why are all of the other ones, well, I guess all of the other ones, I don't know. But like, this is such a pretty highlighter. And you know, I've talked about this before. I talked about this in Failed Favorites. I have my feelings and thoughts on like the formula and things, but it's just so beautiful. This is such a fun color. It's green, but like it's not so green. I feel like it's like a golden green. And I just don't understand why this was the one that gets discontinued. And I'm not saying it might not come back in the future, because that's when I bought it. I came back for like a limited release. But I don't get it. I don't get it. Why are these brands not embracing the green highlighter? I guess consumers, why are you not embracing the green highlighter? Although if you're here, you probably are. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly talk about the Marc Jacobs matte gel highliner, because I just talked about this in my ranking Sephora products video. This is the color Whirlpool. I've owned 4 of these, and it seems like the whole Marc Jacobs line is basically being discontinued to be brought back maybe in the future. I don't know. The Marc Jacobs lipsticks are also a really nice formula. I could have talked about those. I have a dark brown one. Thank you, Audra. That is lovely. Lovely. I feel like I have like wig hair on my face, but I don't. I think Marc Jacobs is kind of like Fenty. I think that Marc Jacobs Beauty had some winners, but they had a lot of like snoozes in the midst of winners. So I get it. Like, I get it why they're not like around, but at the same time I'm like, this is such a beautiful formula. It applies nicely to my waterline. It wears nicely in my waterline. The pencil itself like holds up as a product for a long time, so you're not like wasting your money on a pricey eyeliner for it to dry out in 3 or 6 months. It just makes me sad that it's like no more. Now, speaking of Fenty, again, I just talked about Clapback in that Sephora video, but I think the Mademoiselle lipsticks are quite nice. I have Clapback, Midnight Wasabi, and Turks and Caicos. Had a little grocery delivery interruption, but we're back to continue talking about the Mademoiselles. I basically said this in the Sephora ranking video where I talked about Clapback, but I find that they are a really lovely matte formula. They're probably like a little bit more on the slippy silicone formula, and I don't know if these are gone forever, but I noticed that I think Sephora only had like a couple of colors left and like the least wearable colors, so to me that's a sign that it's the end of the road for them. I think price-wise, these were just maybe priced a little bit high. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm glad I bought these. I bought them on sale. I have no regrets. I like the colors. And I find that for like dark, kind of funky colors, they're like a lovely lipstick. And this wig hair is everywhere. I have another highlighter to talk about, and this one is one that I am wearing on my face, and this is the Kaleidos Diamond Dasher. This is the number 4 Space Age Diamond Dasher, and I received this one in PR, but I had actually purchased it at launch. This I depotted and saved it as a little trinket box. It's a storing on my SD cards and other random stuff box. I love this, and it only was recently-ish announced that from Kaleidos that they were discontinuing this color. Now, this is definitely on the more glittery side. I find that the Space Age highlighters from Kaleidos in general are a more glittery formula, which I'm super into. But this color is just, on my skin tone, for my eyes, how my eyeballs read the color, It's like this perfect meeting point of peach and pink. And I find that a lot of peach highlighters, like I love the idea of a peach highlighter, but a lot of times they're just a touch too deep for my skin tone. And I find that like this feels like it has like a peach base and then like a lot of pink shine to it. I really enjoy this. Like I said, I got this one in PR, so I started using this one only in the last, I mean, we're gonna say maybe 8 months, 10 months, and you can see I've worn down. Like obviously, I'm not hitting pan or anything like that, but like this might be my most used of the collection, and it just bums me out that it's gone. And I mean, Kaleidos kind of does that. Like I never got their green highlighter, which makes me sad, and that's gone. And you know, they don't keep things around forever, which is valid, but like this is such a pretty formula. It's such a pretty color. I think the packaging on this one is super cute. It's that like soft touch, and then you have the metallic like burgundy pink color, and I really love this color. And as like a little bit of a slut for pink highlighters, I felt like this was such a pretty kind of different one in my collection. Now, the last two products I'm going to talk about are probably no surprise to anyone that's been here for a while, but they're both kind of surprises for me in terms of how much I use and adore them. And the next product I'm going to talk about is the e.l.f. Active Lip and Face Palette. Now, this is absolutely a Hannah Louise Post and Made Me Buy It situation, and like it's a mess in there. It's three kind of like cheek colors and then one highlighter gloss kind of color. This is a creamy formula, like very creamy, very pigmented, emollient, but it's not balmy and it's not oily. And those are two things that make cream blushes for me like a no-go. I find like, okay, I've used this criticism against the Tower 28 blush that I tried. I said I felt like it's like lipstick in a pan. At the same time, some of y'all might feel like these are like lipsticks in a pan, but it works for me. And maybe it's the hype, maybe it was the color I tried, maybe it's because this is a more affordable, I don't know, but like I really enjoy this. As you can see, I have dug in. I find that like if you are a little wary about cream highlighters, or maybe you don't want to like add a bunch of them to your collection, having like a glossy, more sheer, like this one to me is sheer with some golden tones in it. I think this is a nice one you can use as a base, or you can tap over, like either powder first and then this, or this first and then powder. And the other three colors they are sophisticated blush colors to me. Like you get this beautiful like peachy kind of tone that's a little bit more earthy of a peachy versus like I don't know, earthy peachy versus like bright peachy. And then the middle tone is a brown, and then you have this like spice cinnamon is what I want to call it. Kind of like these, actually they make me think of some of my Cover FX blushes, like spice cinnamon, warm honey, and soft peach, but like in different and cream formulas. Like I'm not gonna bother with a cream bronzer for me because I have this one if I want to dabble in that. And I just really enjoy the formulas. I enjoy like, this is fast makeup. This is makeup I can put on really, really quickly and like with my fingers and just kind of like just get in there. But it's also makeup that like I can, you know, take time and put on like in a meditative way. I feel like the faded fingers are like a better representation versus these are the 3 swatches. But like these are just these colors, this formula, the format, having them all together. Like my only complaint is the packaging. 1, how dirty it gets, and 2, how like, you know, it's hard to get a brush in these, I will say. And I realized that like I don't actually have a lot of drugstore blushes that I'm super excited by besides this, and it's not really available anymore. I think it's gone for good. I know that they released a cream blush palette that had these kind of color vibes in that summer collection, so I don't know if that is a good alternative, but like this is just like, this is my definition of like your perfect fast but beautiful makeup, because it just, I can put it on so quickly, and I just always think it looks good. I never deal with patchiness. I find that they blend out, but also they build up. So if I really want to do an intense blush look, I can. And if I want to do something softer, I can as well. I can't, even after having it, as long as I've had it, I'm not going to say that they're like the longest lasting, because I haven't really tested that. These aren't like a workday blush for me, but maybe other people have tested that out. I don't know. Now, the last product. I actually really thought I bought this year, but this I think was a holiday 2020 release. This, it makes me so sad that it's not available anymore, but I guess it's better for some people's wallets. And that is the Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette in Rose Gold. Now, this also has a peach highlighter in there that does work for me. This is, so I love a highlighter palette. I love a blush palette. I'm not as big on like all-in-one face palettes, but a lot of times I will fall into buying a highlighter palette, even if I kind of already know not all the colors are going to work for me. This one, they all work. And I get the icy pink highlight that I love. I get a peachy highlight. I get a gold highlight, which I don't use a ton of, but I find that if I pair it with some of the pinky tones, I don't feel as like offended by it, because I'm just not much of a gold highlight person. And then this pinkier color is just the prettiest blush topper for like pinky blushes. It has like the gold in the name, the rose gold, does make sense, because like to me this pink has a bit of a warm golden flash to it, and then you have the gold, and then the peach, I find it's pretty warm, like it has a touch of a pinky tone to it, but it's pretty much like a warm golden peach, but it doesn't feel gold to me, I guess. And then you have, I think if the icy pink wasn't like a true like icy pink, I might not love this palette as much, but like that kind of tone is like my go-to like neutral highlighter, because I love green and I love purple and I love like the weird tone highlighters. This is, I know Dior is expensive, but like I adore this. I traveled with this. I have worn down the embossing on most of the colors. I have visibly worn down the product, like when I'm looking at it, the light pink especially. I know this had some shit with the packaging and like pans falling out and all of that, and I definitely think that that's ridiculous for the price point it is, but this is that bitch. I love it. So that's 10 or so products that are discontinued or really hard to find that are just my favorites, and it makes me sad that people that wanted these products cannot get them. Not that there aren't other options out there. Their makeup is coming out every day, and I bet you have these kinds of formulas in your collection already, even if they're not the things that I've talked about. But like, it still makes me sad. Anyway, thank you so much for spending a bit of your day with me. Let me know in the comments what's something that is an absolute favorite of yours that is discontinued or practically impossible to get anymore. Maybe I'm just looking for a tease, but like, I like to hear from y'all, and I like to hear about the things that excite you. And it doesn't really matter if they're actually available to me or not, because I just love hearing people nerd out about the things that they love. Hopefully you are having a wonderful day. Don't forget to treat yourself better today than you do. I always get that always messes me up. Don't forget to treat yourself better today than you did yesterday, because you are worth it. Bye, friends.